Hi everyone, I hope you're well. So, we are going to start with our very first lesson, and this is A level mathematics, and we are going to cover mechanics and pure mathematics 2 and 3. So, you will see if you go to your Google Classroom, you get the stream, and you'll see everything that I upload in the order that I have uploaded it. But go to classwork, and here is a bit more structure to what I want to do. This video is going to be posted here into the videos to watch before starting. But I would actually like you to first start by having a look at this video over here.
One of the subjects I failed in Year
And
12 was A.
so that's the video I want you to watch. It's a really good video on how someone got A levels in A levels in A level math, and yeah, it's a really good watch. And the other thing that I want to discuss is exactly how I want you to do this whole course. So it is mostly self-study, and I'm going to help you when you have specific questions, and then also put out everything you need in order to have all the practice you need. If you need extra notes on things, then I can help you find them. And yeah, so this math overall really just works if you practice a lot and if you actually try and understand the work. So the mindset that you need to go into it is to try and understand everything. So after you watch the videos, under videos to watch before starting, you can go to your syllabus, and I would suggest that you download the syllabus document so that you have this. We are going to use this every single day, and that is just to make sure that we actually do exactly what they want us to do. So they will tell us, so if I go here to the bottom, you'll see that they actually tell us what it is we should know under each topic. So this is everything you needed to know for paper 1, but we're going to start here with paper 2. Let me just get there. There we go. So for 2.1 algebra, we need to understand the meaning of modulus x and sketch the graph of y equals the modulus of ax plus b. Use relations such as modulus of a equals the modulus of b, which is equivalent. Okay, you get the idea. So we need to understand all of this, and usually on the side here they'll give you some notes and examples, but this is very important. We need to know how to use our syllabus while we're studying, because you'll see there's a lot of extra things that they add in for us to understand the concept. So it is important that we go through the entire textbook, but we also need to understand what it is they can test us on. So if they say we need to understand the meaning of modulus x, that means you're probably going to see this somewhere in a test. So we need to understand what it is, what it represents. So when you see that, you should already have like a few ideas in your head of what that means. And I'm staying a bit vague about all of this because I want you to try and understand what all of this means. But I'm sure you have touched on this already, but let's just see. So that's the syllabus, and then you also have a notation list. So whenever you see something that looks odd, so again, I encourage curiosity and I encourage you trying your best to understand something. I will always refer you back to these documents if you don't understand something. Not to be sassy, it's just I'm going to show you how this is where you would find things. And yeah, so for the first section, we're just going to work with set notation. You don't have to worry about miscellaneous symbols. We've already seen which symbol, just this one. We've already seen this one, and what that means. It implies and is implied by. So right now that doesn't mean anything, but it would be a good idea to just note that and just know that you can find most of the funny things that you've never seen before. You should be able to find here and what they are called. Okay, so that is just the first part, so the syllabus and notation list. You should have the syllabus with you, so you'll see when I have my notes here, I have the textbook and I have the syllabus right next to each other. So if I go here, this is just an app that I use, but you can print this out and have it next to you. It's just easier for me to do this on video if I have everything digitally. And yeah, so That's just the first part, so that documentation is important. It is important. And then you'll see there is a topic called mechanics and there's a topic called pure mathematics. And both of them have this textbook link. And I will upload the actual textbooks as soon as I get them. I just quickly went online and found a few PDFs that we can use for now. They are not the best quality, especially the mechanics textbook. But I would suggest download them as well. And if you have the actual textbook, that is first prize. But since we own the books, then I just use this as a teaching tool. So I'm not encouraging any pirating. But this mathematics book is actually really good quality, and you can just download that because this is what we're going to work through. Then by tomorrow you'll see I have something scheduled. So the first one is the displacement and velocity under mechanics, and you can read through that. I'm going to go through this once, and you can always ask me if something is confusing. But I'm going to go through this to show you how I'm going to structure this course. So first of all, I want you to be curious and write down things that you don't know. If you watch that video, this one over here, if you watch this video at the top here, I can't zoom in unfortunately, but at the top there, how to get an A or an A star in A-level maths. If you watch that video, you'll see that the guy also talks about this, and it's about trying to understand the work, going in with a mindset of I really want to understand the work. So you make little notes, and this way that I've structured the course, at least the way that I structured my words here, is for you to have the ultimate experience of discovery. So the first thing I say hello. First thing is read section 2.1 in your syllabus and just casually read through pages 1 to 8 of the textbook. Okay, so first instruction, read section 2.1 in your syllabus. So let's first do that. So I just go to my syllabus and I go to 2.1. So I just need to go there. So again, if you have a book, this is much easier to get to. Let's just go there. 2.1 should be here somewhere. There we go. So just read through 2.1. So you literally just read candidates should be able to, and you just read through that on the left hand side, and on the right hand side you see notes and examples. And just from the very start, let's say you have no idea what that means. So just on your notes, so you've printed this out or you have the digital copy, just right there, don't know what this means yet. Still don't know what this means. I can maybe just for myself in my head say, okay, I actually seen functions where that is a straight line, so it seems like this is some sort of function. So I should be able to graph this. It says ax plus b. You also get y equals ax plus b, and I know in my head that that is a straight line. But now the only difference is we have these two lines there, which I don't. So I'm just assuming you don't know what this is yet, so that's why I'm speaking like this. But having questions like this is, what do these lines mean? So I don't know what these lines mean, but I do know what that means. So I'm actually good with, I already know this, I already know that, and use relations such as this. So I can assume just from that sentence over there, relations such as, this is called a relation. So I can already just put there relation. I hope by the time I do the videos that my handwriting would be more beautiful than it is currently. But yes, so that's a relation. If I know what that is, great. If not, I don't know what a relation is. I know that this is some sort of relation. Maybe it has something to do about this. Okay, so the idea is you first make your own ideas of what you think all of these things mean. So we don't know what those lines mean. We don't know what these lines mean. And we actually know what this means. We know that if we say a squared equals b squared, then we can assume a equals b. So we can assume that. So that's just something that you think, you have to think about. So just think, don't just read through it and just willy-nilly go through it. Actually try and see, okay, what is it that you know, what do you think can happen, and then you just apply that when you start reading through the content. So currently there's a lot of things here. If you've never seen any of these words, you might see a few of them. But for now, just read through this, okay? And now that I know what this is going to be about, it's going to be something about these two lines. It's going to be a graph, something about relations, and here's a possible another relation when solving equations and inequalities. Okay, we know what equation inequalities are. Divide a polynomial. Let's say I have no idea what a polynomial is. I just put that there. Linear quadratic polynomial. Identify the quotient. So you just go through the words. And now that you have that, so it was not to waste time, because the next instruction on the assignment, let me just go back there. The next instruction said read pages 1 to 8 of the textbook. So now you're going to do actual casual reading. So not like I just did there. I just want to get to page 1. Here we go. So page 1 starts here. So we score a free page, and you can actually see in this chapter what you'll learn about. And you can see this is exactly what we have in the syllabus. If it's not here, then the syllabus still trumps whatever is over here. So we go to the first part. Okay, so we just read through this. Why do we need to study algebra? You have to read through pages 1 to 8. You just go through it until you go to page 8, and you just try and see what it is about. You don't have to focus on anything. You just have to see what it's about. And there we have page 8. So it seems that we have to, sorry, my dog has something in its nose. So here on page 8 seems like we have some exercises, there's some graphs. Okay, so we see a few things here. Good. And now we go to the rest of the instructions. We read through section 2.1 and we've read through pages 1 to 8 of the textbook. Now step 2. After reading through pages 1 to 8, write down some questions about new words or concepts that you don't know what they mean yet. Now, if you had a look at the video, and I think it's such a great thing to do, you can just start by writing today's date, wherever you feel you want to write the date. So we have the date, and now you can just start by first the questions. So this is really for you. I am going to check it just to see if you're actually doing it. But the question, so let's say I went through my syllabus and the very first thing is, what are these lines? What are these lines? Or maybe something like, let's say something we know about, equations and inequalities. Maybe you can just make a little note and say, I need to revise on equations and equalities. Just small little notes like that while reading through the syllabus, and while you this time, what we did here, all of that, I want you to do with everything from page 1 to 8. So there's something, the modulus. What is that? Okay, so don't know what that is. Okay, here they give us the definition of what that is. So for now, you don't have to worry about writing that down. You can just make notes on the pages and just say, or you can make notes on here of what do these things mean, even if they give us a reason. So modulus is a number. Modulus of a number is the magnitude of the number without a sign attached. Okay, so modulus, okay, so it means something about magnitude, number without a sign. Let's say something like, I don't know what a magnitude is. Then just right there. What is a magnitude? I'm sure my point is getting across that you do make your own notes and just put them under this topic over here, under questions. So that's all you have to do for that part. Then, so after reading through pages 1 to 8, write down some of the questions about new words or concepts that you don't know what they mean yet. And that word's very important, yet. So the idea of that part is just to show, okay, I am curious about what these things mean. I want to understand them, and you have to understand them the day you read them. Don't wait and say, I'll do it tomorrow. You have to do it today. So next, make a topic in your workbook. So I'm here at point 3, or piece of paper with the heading syllabus. Okay, so now we've done all of that, and now we're going to make syllabus. Here's the syllabus. Okay, so that was the first part. So I have my syllabus, and point 3 we're done with. And now decide which part of the syllabus under section 2.1 the first 8 pages cover, and write down that part of the syllabus. So let's say I read through the pages and it seems that it's mostly about understand the meaning of the modulus of x, sketch the graph, and use relations such as those. And let's say it's going to be all of that. So now what you want to do is, I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I'm just going to take a screenshot and I'm going to add that. So you would write this in words. I believe that would be that. I'm just going to crop it. So you just write down those words, or if you're using a computer or a tablet, you can do exactly what I'm doing now. And that is the syllabus. This is the part that we're going to cover for pages 1 to 8. Okay, and decide which part of the syllabus. Okay, and write down the part of the syllabus. Okay, 5. Use your textbook to expand your findings and understanding of the topic. And then I've also uploaded some notes on the modulus function to help you with your notes. Okay, so you can open that and just have a look at what those notes say about the modulus. But now you look at this. Understand the meaning of the modulus of x. Or let's first start with what this means. Okay, so one of our first questions is, what are these lines? So these are our absolute value lines. They indicate the modulus of a value, and we'll just go to the textbook. Okay, the modulus of 3 is written as 2 lines and the 3's in between them. So those lines mean that the number in between them is the modulus. So we're going to find the absolute value. You'll see over here. The modulus of a number is also called the absolute value. So all of that we just add here. So it's absolute value. So when you see those lines, you think either. So you can make little notes. So when you see that, the 2 words that pop up in my mind is going to be modulus and absolute value. So those are the 2 words that pop up when I see those lines. So now I have just covered understand the meaning of that to the extent that I know what that means. Now to sketch the graph of that, I go back and let's see something about sketching it. We read through all of that, and let's see if we see a graph somewhere. Oh, graph should be a bit higher up. It's much easier when you have the book open in front of you. And here we can see the graphs of y equals the modulus of f of x, or the absolute value of f of x. And here we see that here's a normal line drawn for y equals to x, and now they're tipping this guy over, and you should read that to understand. So first try on your own, and after that you'll see that the modulus of x is going to look like that. So that will make sense when you go through the work. And this is also the part where you try to go through the textbook, you really tried your best, and you just, for the life of you, don't know how to sketch the graph of y equals ax plus b. So now you can just still make some question marks here, and then these are the things that you're going to have on your notes. These notes you're just going to scan in and send to me on PDF, and you're going to upload them on this assignment. So that's the first 5 instructions. You're going to upload your marks, your your work. So the questions you had, the hopefully by the time you upload it, you also have answers to those that you found through your own research. And if you really don't understand it, then you ask me, so could you please explain this? And I will make a video on how to understand that, and I'll make as many videos as you need until you understand it. But we will still be going on with work, so really try and cover the work that you are doing on that day. Then for all of my exercises, so that was the first part. So that's just a bit of theory that we need to cover. And lastly, you need to do the exercise. So exercise 1A. Okay, so preferably you should do this on a new piece of paper or in a different book if you're using a book. And then we're just going to start with whatever the date is today. And we're going to do exercise 1A. If you want to, you can make everything look nice. I'm just for the video trying to shorten it. Exercise 1A. So there's 1A. And we have to do all the left-hand side sums. If there are no middle or right-hand side questions, you do the whole question and then do exercise 1B. Okay, so now I just go and find 1A. 1A. So I said all of the questions left-hand side. So that means if this is the left-hand side, this would be middle, and this would be right-hand side. Okay, so we only have to do 1A and D, 2A and D, 3A and D, 4A and D, 5A, the whole of 6, the whole of 7, the whole of 8, and 9. Okay, so now you're going to do that in your book, and I would suggest, so the reason why I first want you to do this on your own is you have all the tools you need. You can go through the worked examples and try and understand what it is they did. So you look at the sum, and then you try it on your own, and then you go back to the answer and just see, okay, what did they do there? And just note how they write it down. So math is a language, and we have, just like we have full stops and commas and colons in English, we also have specific rules and ways that we have to write sentences and paragraphs and all of that. Math is the same. We need to make it look ordered and structured. So just look how they do it and try to replicate the form. That's very important. And then you go through the methods. So there's 2 methods to answer this, and you can decide which one you want to do. But usually the shorter one is better, because in exam you want to save as much time as you want to. So if a method doesn't make sense to you, you can just say, I tried method 1. So let's say you're doing the sums, and you tried method 1, and you wrote it there, and then here you can just say, I didn't know how to do method 2. Or you can just say, don't understand method 2, but I want to. Okay, so you can write messages here for me. This is really for us to make you understand the work. So just write down, communicate with me how you feel about certain stuff. You'll see when I mark your work, which hopefully every single day you will have, when you wake up, you should have all of your marks. I would usually write down what it is you got wrong, and I am marking quite brutally. In an exam, you would get 1 mark for that, mark for that, mark for that, depending on what type of question you have. But when I mark, I know it doesn't make sense right now, but I'm just going to give you a single mark if you get everything right. So that's the only mark that's going to count, because I really want you to feel it when you do make a mistake. But I do not want to discourage you. I am still going to make little ticks to say that you've done that right, well done, you just made a calculation error over there, or you just made a silly error there, or something like that. Or I'll just say the whole concept was wrong and we just need to revise this section again. So we'll just revise that. But I will communicate. I like to write a lot of little messages. So if you're willing to read through all of them, it will help you. And it's going to be the same for mechanics. So I do not have to make a video separately for that. It is going to be the same. So you'll see the instructions are pretty much copy pasted. The only thing I change is the section you need to read in the syllabus, which pages we're doing, and then the exercises are always different. And then sometimes I would add in extra documents just to help you. So here is a summary of the modulus function. I just felt that this is a better summary for that part than the textbook, so sometimes I will do that. But most of the time our textbook is sufficient. We have everything we need. And yes, every day you will have an assignment like this. I know this video was quite long and it shouldn't take this long. I think if you spend 1 to 2 hours a day, you should have everything covered. And if you work in the time for doing your own research on every part, then you'll see that the 2 hours really flies. So I hope that helps. I hope it gives clarity on how I'm going to do things, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.